All right, welcome to today's explainer. We're jumping right into something that is, honestly, a total paradigm shift for artificial intelligence. We're talking about a protocol called Codatta. Now, this isn't just some tiny incremental tech update. It's an open protocol built specifically for decentralized AI acidification. If you're plugged into the AI space, you know that these massive systems completely rely on human data. They literally couldn't exist without it. But Codatta, they're totally flipping the script on how that data is actually valued. Today, we're going on a journey to see exactly how this protocol takes human intelligence, your specific expertise, and turns it into a real, tangible asset.
Okay, let's dive into this, because this gets straight to the absolute heart of the problem. Right now, the whole standard model for AI development, it's basically massive, uncompensated data extraction. These systems just scrape the internet, swallowing up human knowledge whole, and they give absolutely zero return to the people who actually created that knowledge. It's a one-way street. But what if that completely changed? Just imagine if your specialized knowledge actually paid you royalties every single time an AI model used it to learn or make a decision. No way, right? Well, that is the exact core problem Codatta is tackling. They are positioning themselves as the ultimate solution to this whole era of uncompensated extraction.
Section 1. Powering Decentralized AI.
So to understand how they actually pull this off, we kind of need to look under the hood. I want you to think of Codatta like a revolutionary, highly complex machine. Let's call it the Codatta engine. Throughout this explainer, we're going to build this engine piece by piece, layer by layer, so you can really see how it fundamentally transforms data ownership. Here is the absolute anchor of this whole thing, turning knowledge into royalty-generating assets. In this ecosystem, your expertise isn't just free data waiting around to be scraped. Actually, scratch that. It's never free data here. It is a long-term, yield-producing asset. That is a massive shift. We're moving from a world where data is basically a disposable commodity to one where human insight holds permanent, structural value.
So how does this engine actually run? Well, it rests on 4 foundational pillars. First, we have the experts, the actual human minds providing the baseline intelligence. Second, there are rigorous quality checks to ensure total accuracy. Third, the decentralized tech that keeps everything open, fair, and running smoothly. And finally, secure data infrastructure to lock it all down. Basically, this is our roadmap for the rest of our journey today.
Section 2. The Contributor Network.
Let's start with layer 1 of our engine analogy. Let's call this layer the fuel. Because, without high-quality fuel, the engine just doesn't run. In the Codatta protocol, this fuel is their massive contributor network. It's the actual web of intelligence that powers the whole system from the ground up. And listen, we're not talking about a tiny niche group of beta testers here. Codatta already boasts over 300,000 verified contributors. Let that number sink in for a second. 300,000 individual verified sources of intelligence. That sheer scale, that massive human element, is what gives this protocol its incredible initial power. It's just a staggering amount of human capital already plugged in. But you can't just have 300,000 people throwing data into a giant void, right? It has to be organized. So these verified contributors are meticulously structured into a global registry, and they're indexed by 3 absolutely crucial metrics: their specific skills, their contribution strength, and, most importantly, their verification history. This means the system knows exactly who is good at what, how consistently they show up, and how accurate they've been in the past. It creates this beautifully structured map of human expertise.
Now, there's a really fascinating detail here that takes the whole protocol to the next level. This network, it isn't strictly human. It actually includes both domain experts and specialized AI agents. It synergizes that deep, nuanced understanding that only human experts have with the raw speed and processing power of AI agents. Together, they generate incredibly high-quality knowledge. It's this brilliant hybrid intelligence network where humans and machines are essentially teaming up to create the ultimate dataset.
Section 3. Quality Assurance Workflow. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it moves us right into layer 2 of our engine, the filter. This is where that massive influx of knowledge gets intensely verified.
Okay, so we've got our fuel, but we absolutely have to make sure it's clean. Imagine the journey of just one single data point entering this system. It doesn't just get waved through at face value. Oh no, it passes through 3 highly composable mechanisms. First up, staking. This ensures participants have real, actual skin in the game when they submit or review data. Second is expert verification, where those highly indexed domain experts we just talked about really scrutinize the info. And third, voting, to reach a final consensus. These steps all work together to guarantee absolute accuracy.
Literally nothing gets through this filter unless it has been rigorously tested.
And because this QA workflow is just so demanding, it creates incredibly high-fidelity data. That directly empowers developers to build some seriously remarkable things on top of the protocol. We're talking highly reliable benchmarks for AI, fully functional truce markets, and deeply dependable human intelligence layers. When the foundational data is this fiercely verified, the applications built on top of it become infinitely more trustworthy. It's a real game changer.
Section 4. Decentralized data infrastructure.
Which brings us right to layer 3 of the engine. We've got the fuel, we've got the filter, and now we need the vault. This is all about the heavy cryptography and the advanced architecture, keeping everything secure, private, and mathematically verifiable. So the crucial point is that data isn't just sitting around on some centralized server waiting to get hacked. Not at all. It's secured using a hybrid storage model entirely backed by undeniable on-chain proofs. That means the heavy data might be stored efficiently off-chain, but the mathematical proof of its existence and its integrity, that is permanently stamped onto the blockchain. It's completely transparent and totally unalterable.
To actually pull this off, Codatta is utilizing some seriously heavy-hitting tech: ZKP, FHE, and federated learning. Now, I know, these acronyms sound like a bunch of abstract, intimidating math, but let's demystify them a bit. Just think of them as the essential, cutting-edge tools that let AI learn from your data without ever exposing your underlying private information. They can prove things are true without revealing the secret itself. It allows computations to happen on data while it's still locked up tight. It's literally the perfect mix of ultimate privacy and ultimate utility.
And this infrastructure is remarkably robust. Yes, it's designed to support private, verifiable access for the initial training of those massive AI models, but it definitely doesn't stop there. It also supports live, real-time inference, meaning even when an AI is out in the wild, making split-second decisions based on user prompts, it can still securely and privately tap into this verified knowledge layer. It creates this continuous, ultra-secure loop.
Section 5. Turning data into assets. Let's move to and see how this builds our final layer.
Welcome to layer 4 of our engine analogy, the output. This is the ultimate financial and ethical climax of the entire Codatta protocol, where all that technical architecture translates into real-world value for you, the contributor. This contrast perfectly illustrates the massive paradigm shift we've been talking about. On one side, the old model, uncompensated data extraction that treats human knowledge like an endless free buffet. On the other side, Codatta's empowering new reality, royalty-generating assets. It's a complete rewiring of the AI economy. It strips the power from those centralized scrapers and hands it right back to the actual creators.
So, to wrap up exactly what this data assetification achieves, it strictly enforces contributor privacy. It completely unlocks those royalty-based rewards, making sure you actually get paid for your expertise. And honestly, the most beautiful part? It perfectly aligns the long-term value between the AI systems that need to learn and the human sources that teach them. It builds a symbiotic relationship instead of a parasitic one. The AI gets smarter and the human gets compensated securely. Everybody wins.
Now, I want to leave you with one final, incredibly provocative thought today. As artificial intelligence continues to accelerate and shape literally the very fabric of our future, shouldn't you own the long-term value of the knowledge it relies on to exist? Codatta is proving that you absolutely can and that you should. The technology to turn your intelligence into a secure, royalty-generating asset, it's already here. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope mapping out this engine helped illuminate the mechanics behind this fascinating protocol, and I highly encourage you to keep exploring how your own data might just shape the future of decentralized AI